What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video, and today, it is time that we discuss the Colorado Senate race after getting many questions from Real Political Data's Twitter account, I wonder who that is, and a lot of people have been asking about, hey, is Colorado competitive this year, and all of that good stuff. So today we're going to be doing a deep dive video into the Colorado Senate race. Now, before I forget, of course, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, of course, go follow that mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. And yeah, also join the channel. That is right, folks. For just 10 cents a day, you can join Real American Politics. I think it's a great deal, and I recommend you join today. All right, enough promotion crap. Let's get into it. So before we get into this video, I want to do a quick disclaimer. I originally thought this Senate race was going to be more competitive, right? So I'm sorry for being naive about how bad this candidate is for the Republicans. I thought, all right, this is a seat that Michael Bennett's going to struggle in. Why? Well, put it simply, he has pissed off, the more Bernie bro type of the base. Like, hey, he's quote-unquote moderate, which on some issues, yes, he is a more moderate, Democrat. Like, he's against Medicare for all, and he supports fracking to an extent. But point being is, he is about as, moderate as Democrats in the Senate get, which that's not saying much. But he's one of those candidates that he has no energy from the left. That is why I thought, okay, you get a decent, Republican, like a Youngkin-style candidate to run in this race, you have a shot. Now, what do I mean by Youngkin-style candidate? Somebody that focuses on issues that matter to the voters, right? That, like Virginia with education, and don't talk about, social issues, right? You don't have to be, I'm not asking for you to be, like, based on social issues. Like, just be decent, right? And you don't have to mention it. That's the point of how Youngkin won. He is conservative on cultural issues, yes, but he didn't make a deal about it. He didn't, discuss it in public. Why? Because if he did, the more hardcore base would flee. They wouldn't vote for, him if he was a social liberal. Well, it turns out Republicans nominated a social liberal in the Colorado Senate race. Joey Diaz not even a Youngkin candidate. Not even a center-right Republican or a moderate Republican. No, he's a left-wing Republican on social issues. Think about that for a second. This guy is trying to run further to the left on gay marriage, on same-sex marriage, same-sex marriage. Wow, I messed it up. Abortion, same-sex marriage, you get the point. He's essentially trying to make Bennett look like, the more right-wing guy on social issues. That's not even a joke. Look at his recent ad. Yes, I support same-sex marriage. Yes, I support abortion. And he claims he's, doesn't support after 22 weeks. He supports every exemption known to man. So he supports abortion, pretty much the entire time with no limits except, if the woman, has a, serious disorder or something like that, she can get an abortion after 30 weeks. That's a type of Republican we're dealing with. So essentially, abortion wouldn't be banned at all. It would be unfettered abortion just using loopholes. And it's a clown show. And it's getting so bad where he's starting to bash Trump. He's running ads publicly about this. It's getting so bad that the Trump base, they're not going to vote for the guy. If anything, they're going to probably write in, a third-party candidate, or potentially, you could see a cursed Bennett-Trump voter. Do they exist right now? I don't want to know. But point being is, Odia is trying to shill for all of these voters in the Denver area, all right? And this is going to backfire. Why? These voters that vote, only on abortion, they only vote Democrat, right? These voters that vote, purely on abortion, and they're so offended on, Roe versus Wade, they're always going to vote Democrat. Like, this idea of trying to, out-left the left on social issues, that's never works. It never has. And, well, sure, he may do better than Trump in Adams County, better than Jefferson slightly. He may, get 44, 45% of the vote. But even if you get the possibly best numbers you can get, you're still going to be down a couple 100,000 votes compared to Trump. And not only that, you've pissed off this blood red part of the state of Colorado. Places like, Lincoln County, Cheney County, Kit Carson County, etc. And while there's not the most votes in the world, you start adding them out, Mesa County, etc. You start adding it up, it's like, they may write in a third-party candidate or, vote for Bennett or may not even show up. So that's the problem that Odea has put himself into. If it wasn't for that, he would have a legitimate shot. This is what's pissing me off about some of these people on Twitter. They really think you can run a social liberal as a Republican and win. No. If you've run that type of candidate, you've never won. Sure, you got people like, Charlie Baker and, Phil Scott. Whoop they frickin' do. They're essentially Democrats. Alright? There's nothing conservative about those clowns. People like Larry Hogan, they've always ran against, a far-left Democrat. And he was actually moderate on social issues. Odea, potentially to the left of Bennett on social issues. That's my point, folks. It destroys enthusiasm within the base, and it's not including how he bashed Trump for, being an extremist and how he will never support Trump in 2024. You really think these voters in rural Colorado that voted Democrat for years, but decided, you know what, I'm going to start voting Republican because of Trump. You really think they're going to show up in enthusiastic support for Odea? For a guy that's bashing Trump? No! There's no reason to bring up Trump in this race. You've destroyed all enthusiasm you had within the Republican base. Another thing, look at what Youngkin did. He didn't talk about cultural issues. He said, yeah, I'm pro-life. I want to prevent, the murder of the unborn. But that's about it. He didn't, make a big stink about it because you don't need to. This election is about the economy. Stop trying to do this crap. You're trying to make abortion the number one issue. It's such a stupid strategy. You're not helping yourself. So that's why, folks, that I really just do not see this race being that competitive at all. In fact, there's a legitimate shot Trump, or I should say, Trump will do better than Odea, but there's a potential chance of Bennett potentially cracking, a 10-point victory in Colorado. Yes, there's a chance that some of these independent suburbanites vote, for Odea. True, this is a part of the state that he did well in the primary. Look at this map here. But that's not enough. Whoops, there we go. This is not enough, all right? This little bit of, Colorado, Denver area. Look at the orange parts. That's a part that Ron Hanks ran in. And I cannot believe I'm saying this, but if Ron Hanks was the nominee, I think he would have a better shot of winning right now. I know that may sound crazy, but when you think about it, while Ron Hanks has his issues, he would get that base out, that Trump base out in droves, which in a red wave year may be more important than just shilling for people in Adams County that are never going to vote Republican again, or Arrowpay County. Again, that may sound crazy on paper, but if you're trying to run further to the left than a Democrat on social issues, no Republican that's concerned about those issues are going to vote for you. So that's that, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share it to friends, hit that little bell, and yes, of course, go follow that mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.